Hello, jazz aficionados, lovers of the craft we like to call modern music. That's what Charlie Parker liked to call it. I'm back again, and I guess I will call this Tough Talk. And the reason I'm calling it uh, this is not directed at any one person in particular. This is in general. So if you are taking lessons from me or you're one of my students, this is not directed at you. This is in general. And I just wanted to bring this out. Today I was thinking uh, and pondering, you know, I can't really fault all my teachers if I didn't do what they asked me to do. I'll say that again. I refuse, or I'm not going to fault the teacher if I didn't do what they asked me to do. So it's not the teacher's fault if uh, I'm not progressing as a musician. And so I guess this is my first installment of the Tough Talk. It's not coming against anybody in particular, but it's just saying if you have not been practicing your scales and now you're having no trouble in F sharp major or F sharp minor, well, no wonder. Teacher has asked you to practice that. And I know this is really, really simplistic, but students, if you are not doing what the teacher has asked you to do, you can't lay blame at the teacher's feet and say, well, they're not a good teacher or they're not doing what they need to do. And I'm not frustrated or angry or anything like that. I just thought about that. I said, as a teacher, especially in the private sector when I'm teaching students one-on-one, this is not related really to classroom teachers, but there are some applications with it. But mainly when you're dealing with students, teaching them music one-on-one, and you ask them to work something and you come back and they haven't worked it, or you ask them to check out a particular artist and maybe you played an example of that artist, and then you ask them, have you listened to it? And they didn't listen to it. And so when we come prepared for our lessons and we come prepared to have the lesson, we need to do what the teacher asked us to do. If my piano teacher asked me to do page 32 and 34, she expects me when I come back to have page 32 and 34 at the level that she asked us to. And as a teacher, it's really frustrating when we come back to the lesson and the student hasn't completed page 32 through 34 or, whatever. So this is an encouragement to all of my students that, if I ask you to work on something or to do something, it's best just to go ahead and do it. Now, no critique. We all have, busy lives and we get good reasons, and I'm like that. That's one of the reasons, I take lessons from time to time myself, and that's one reason why I had to stop lessons for the moment because I could not commit like I wanted to. And so I'm going to pick back up the lessons, but I'm just letting you know I had to be honest with myself that I couldn't commit to the time. But here it is. I'm not better than I would have been if I had followed my teacher's advice and encouragement, or if I follow what they asked me to do. So this is the first installment of Tough Talk, and this is that Tough Talk. Student, if a teacher asks you to work on articulation exercises and the next week you didn't do it, well, you didn't get the benefit of the lesson. Teacher taught me this some time ago. Uh, he said the best time to practice is right after the lesson because all of that is in your head and you now have developed uh, a habit. So when you have a lesson, immediately after the lesson, go home and put into practice what they taught you. and then improve upon that every day. So if you're taking a weekly lesson, you got 6 days from that day to get it right. You can't count 7 days if you don't practice. So every day up until your lesson, that's what you do. If you have 2 weeks, then you know you got 14 days. That's the same day until the next 14 days to get it right. So it's super, super, super important that we are honest with ourselves and then say to ourselves, look, I can't do it now, but hopefully, by the time I go back to my lesson, I'm at least able to execute some or a majority of it. And that's the thing. If you are having problems and you are practicing, you can call your teacher and ask them, or you can make a video, send it to them, and ask them for additional help. Those students of mine who call me and say, look, I'm still having a problem with this, and I try to help them as much as I can. So that's what we're here for. Time is limited, so we all know we can't spend too much time on the phone or, re-explaining. But then at the same time, we are here to help you. So I just wanted to encourage my students, when you're asked to complete an assignment, go ahead and do it. Even though you may not like it. Know who likes to play in the key of C sharp? Who likes to improvise in the key of B? I'm sure there's advanced people that love to improvise in the key of B major. But that's not one of my favorite keys to improvise in. I prefer D. That's my key. That's a key I love to play in. But I've got to get outside of that comfort zone and play in the key of B so that I can be a more well-rounded musician. So I just wanted to make this video that's talking about that. Uh, you know, if the teacher does not notice something, yes, then we can say they may not have been a good teacher. Or if the teacher taught you wrong. But on the whole, I found that if we would just obey and just do what the teacher asked us to do, we would be so much more successful and happier with our progress. So that concludes Tough Talk today. And I hope you have a good day wherever you are in the world. Feel free to subscribe and like, and we'll be looking forward to hearing from you. And you have a good day wherever you are in the world. See you later.